On a sunny day last April, I suddenly got the urge to go hitching around New Zealand. As I had some time to spare and was in the mood for an adventure, I figured I'd go the whole hog and hitch the length of the country, from Cape Reinga to Bluff. Some people thought I was mad, others said they'd love to do it but were afraid, and others wanted to join me. However, only one volunteered, my mate Dave, who had never hitched before but was keen to give it a try. From having hitched in other places, I knew it gave a unique opportunity to gain an insight into a country and its people. I also had lots of questions about hitching and its customs, personalities and idiosyncrasies. Here's what I found.
Pick me up, I'm heading from the top to the bottom. Pick me up, I'm heading from the Cape to the Bluff. Pick me up, I'm heading from the top to the bottom. Pick me up, I'm heading from the Cape to the Bluff.
We began by catching the early morning coach from Auckland to Kaitaia. Our plan was to hitch from there to Cape Reinga, where we would officially start our journey. This would be a good time to give a brief history of New Zealand. Tucked away in the bottom left-hand corner of the Pacific Ocean, New Zealand is a straggly line of islands about the size of Britain, but with a relatively small population of 4 million, not including sheep. New Zealand is divided into the North and South Islands. The North Island has 75% of the population and the nation's capital, Wellington. The South Island has most of the agricultural industry and adventure tourism. There's a healthy rivalry between the two islands. Polynesian settlers from around Tahiti first discovered the islands in about 1000 AD. These settlers would later become known as the Maori and were the sole human inhabitants of New Zealand until the arrival of Captain Cook in 1769. This spelled the dawning of a new era in New Zealand's history, with the arrival of European settlers and the eventual annexing of New Zealand by the British Crown. After the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi by pressurised Maori chiefs, New Zealand and her lands came under British protection. This treaty eventually led to the Maori land wars of the late 1800s and is still a cause of debate. Though cultural tensions still exist, things have improved greatly since the 1800s. New Zealand can now be seen as a multicultural society, with the major ethnic groups being New Zealand European, Maori, Pacific Islander and Asian. With its beautiful landscape and its interesting variety of people, it's an exciting country to go hitching in, as I was about to find out. Before leaving, I had sent an email around to my friends asking if they knew anybody who could put us up along the way. My friend Renee had given us a contact in Kaitaia whom she said would only be too happy to put us up. It turned out to be her granny and granddad, Marie and Rich, who lived on a farm just outside Kaitaia. You've been out on that horse all day?
Well, most of the day.
Right, God.
Way over those hills, way over there.
So how much of this is yours? Do you own this whole land all around here?
I only own this bit here, but I manage about 2,000 acres.
Really? Wow. God.
I muster the stock on it and do the stock work. I've been here for 76 years.
Yeah. Do you like it here? Do you like the lifestyle?
Oh, that's the only life there is.
Have you farmed the land for?
I've actually farmed here since 1941.
Were you born here?
Up the road further. I've lived on this road all my life.
Really?
Yeah, I lived about 4 miles up the road when I was a kid, in the bush.
And what about your parents and stuff? Were they from here?
Unfortunately, my dad died while he was building this house in 1929. I was only a 5-year-old.
Really? Wow. What age are you yourself?
What age am I? Coming up 82.
82, really? Jeez, and you're still out in the land farming around here?
Yeah.
God. So you wouldn't think of retiring, no?
No.
Like it too much?
That's been my life.
It's your turn now, Marie. So, how long have you been living here?
How long have I been living here? 55 years and a bit more.
Right. And where did you live before this?
Victoria Valley, just over the hill.
Do you like it out here?
Yes, I love it.
Would you give it up for anything?
No, people ask would we move or would we move to the beach or anywhere, and I say no, I think we'll be carried off here.
Well, it was a great life. I mean, it's people don't understand unless they live on the farm. They don't know what they miss, really. It's nature, Mother Nature.
Mm-hmm.
The birds and the bees.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't be into city life then, I take it.
Oh, when I was crook, I went to town for 6 weeks, and that was enough for me. And I've never been back.
That night, Richard and Marie showed me their wall of family photos and treasured medals.
That was my best dog there. That photo in the corner there, that's the flood just down the road here.
This one here?
Yeah.
Is that why I have the boat there?
Well, I had a very sick man up the road here one night and a big flood on, and I couldn't get, the doctor couldn't get through. And Mary and I sat with him up there all night. Never got through till the morning. What was it? Get some whopping floods, all right.
Was he okay?
No, he died a week later.
What's for dinner? What's on the menu?
On the menu is lamb chops, potato, kumara, cauliflower, beans and white sauce.
Superb. We decided to hitch up to Cape Reinga, where our journey would officially start.
Just found out that a British hitchhiker down in Hutt Valley near Wellington has got beaten up. It's kind of scary. It makes it a bit more risky, but at the same time a bit more fun.
Do you think we should still go?
Yeah, definitely. No risk is worth taking unless you take it big time.
So long, boy.
How are you feeling now, Dave?
Nervous. Butterflies running through me like anything.
Marie gave us a lift 10 minutes down the road into Arwanui, where we started our hitching. You know, here's the car, so we'll give it our first go. It's our first go of hitching of the trip. So we'll see. We got a nice little wave.
The spot we're in is pretty much on a blind corner, so we're in a dangerous spot. In a spot where people can't actually see us to pull over in time. Here we go, might be in luck.
We are, yeah, we're trying to get up to Cape Reinga.
Yeah, we can take you a little bit of the way.
Yeah, cheers, nice one. So sorry, what's your name?
Francis,
And what do you do?
look at me, covered in crap. I'm a logger. I'm a logger with a broken saw at the moment, but you get that.
So do you pick up pictures normally, or?
Every chance I get. Originally from Auckland.
Oh, okay.
Came here 6 years ago. You know, Auckland spread out, and I just wanted a bit of space around me for me and my kids.
So your extended family is originally from Croatia?
My grandfather was here. Came out here at age 12 by himself. Amazing, eh? Put on a boat at 12.
After talking to Francis for a while, he decided that as his saw was broken and he couldn't work for the rest of the day, he may as well give us a lift all the way to the Cape. He also decided to drive along one of the most unusual official highways in New Zealand, 90 Mile Beach.
This is why I came north rather than go anywhere else. The beaches are great.
Along the way, we met a woman fishing. You catch anything?
We got 10 snapper yesterday.
Really?
So it's a bit windy today, so we just had to put an extra bottle on.
So you just use that takes your line out?
Yeah, we make them out of rubbish bags. We'll put the hooks on shortly as soon as it gets past the bigger waves, the bottles. We've got two big bottles of water and sand on to hold it down.
Right.
Otherwise they fly up and all the hooks will go up as well. And you can bring them in a big wind. You can even see the fish flying up, they pull right out of the water.
Really?
Not many places in this country we can go from one coast to the other in 10 minutes. Left the west coast and now we're going to east coast.